You know that feeling, right? You're listening to an amazing song, or maybe a sudden cold breeze hits you, and you look down at your arm, and there they are, that weird, bumpy skin. We've all had it happen, but what is actually going on? Well, today we're going to dive into this super common but kind of strange human reaction. It's one of those questions that seems like it should have a simple answer. But you know what? The real answer is going to take us on this wild ride deep into our own evolutionary past. So let's get right to it. Why in the world do we get goosebumps? I just love this quote because it gets straight to the point in the most shocking way possible. I mean, it sounds like something out of a sci-fi movie, doesn't it? The idea that your skin is trying to do something it literally can't do anymore. But believe it or not, that one sentence, that's the key to this whole mystery. Okay, so to really get that whole growing fur idea, we first need to look at the basic mechanics of it all. We got to see what's happening right under the surface of your skin. And it all starts with some incredibly tiny but surprisingly strong little muscles. Meet the star of the show, the erector pili. It's a pretty fancy name, I know, but basically it's just this microscopic muscle that's attached to every single hair follicle you have. Yep, every single one. And its only job is to squeeze and contract whenever your brain gives the signal. So the actual process is super straightforward. First, your brain senses some kind of trigger. Could be cold, could be fear, it could even be that feeling of awe when you hear a great song. Then, boom, it sends a signal. That signal makes that tiny erector pili muscle contract, and it yanks the hair follicle upright. That little pulling action creates the bump on your skin that we all know as a goosebump. And that's pretty much it. Simple mechanics, right? But wait, that just explains how it happens. It doesn't tell us why. Why is our body even built to do this? What's the point of this automatic reflex? This is where the story gets really, really cool. Because that why has almost nothing to do with us living here and now. Nope. It's an echo. It's a biological ghost story left behind by our very, very distant ancestors. And here it is, the big reveal. This entire goosebump reflex is just a leftover. It's what scientists call a vestigial trait, something that was super useful for our ancient, much, much hairier relatives. But for us now, yeah, not so much. This chart lays it out perfectly. Back in the day, for our furry ancestors, making their hair stand on end did two really important things. One, it puffed up their fur and made them look bigger, which was great for scaring off predators. And two, it trapped a layer of air against their skin, which acted like a natural insulated jacket to keep them warm. But for us modern humans, it's just an echo. The system fires up, but we're missing the main ingredient, all that fur. And this is the absolute best way to picture it. If you've ever seen a cat get startled or step out into the cold, you know exactly what this looks like. Whoosh, its fur puffs right out. That is exactly what your skin is trying to do. It's running the very same program. So you see, goosebumps aren't really a modern feature. They're more like a fossil that's still alive in our skin. And it turns out our bodies are full of these fascinating little evolutionary leftovers, these ancient glitches. Goosebumps are just one piece of the puzzle. Another great example? Hiccups. Yeah, hiccups. Get this. That weird, annoying spasm is thought to be a leftover reflex from our super ancient ancestors that were kind of like tadpoles. They had both gills and lungs, and the hiccup is what's left of the muscle movement they used to swallow water. It's just wild to think our bodies are carrying around all this ancient history. Okay, so let's quickly recap the big ideas here. First, goosebumps are just a physical reaction, tiny muscles pulling on your hairs. Simple. Second, the reason it happens is that it's an evolutionary leftover from our furry ancestors who needed it to look big and stay warm. And finally, maybe the coolest way to think about it is that this reflex is like a living fossil, a little piece of ancient history that's still active in your skin today. It really makes you look at your own body a little differently, doesn't it? It's not just a machine built for today. It's a living museum of our deepest past. And that leaves us with one last really fun question to chew on. What other ancient echoes are hiding in your body?